Hi guys, welcome. We have a special guest tonight who isn't here yet. So when he gets here, we'll add him to the stream. So I'm super happy to be here with you on the Tuesday Night Live. I gotta tell you guys, I am exhausted. I went to the gym today. I'm trying to get back in that really good habit. And my ride, I was supposed to get a ride home. So I walked to the gym, which is about 3 miles away, the warm up, and then worked out. Had kind of a hard workout. Was feeling pretty worked, and then found out my ride couldn't pick me up. And then I tried to get an Uber because I was like, I'm tired. Tried to get an Uber, and Uber was like not working. And I was like, okay, that's my sign that I have to walk home. So I walked home, and I know it's not that much of a, it's not that. I mean, compared to some people, it's not that much exercise. But I was tired when I got home, and so I'm still apparently recovering. So hopefully, I make some sense tonight. I'm glad to be here with you guys. And so I invited a really awesome guy, Andy Hnilo, on, which I might be saying that last name wrong. We'll see when he gets here, who makes my favorite products for face, body. And so we're going to talk about that when he arrives and then answer your questions. And look, he's right there.
How's it going? What's going
Hey,
on, Kim? How are you?
I'm good, Andy. I realized I have no idea how to say your last name.
Oh, hey, a lot of people don't. It's Nilo. H is
Oh,
silent.
silent H. Okay.
Yeah, silent
Nilo.
H. Yeah, causing problems. Definitely. I actually, way back in the day when I was in the entertainment industry, they would search the N's, and I've lost jobs just
Oh,
because of that
no.
spelling. A couple, not many, but either way, it's good to see you. How you doing,
It's
man?
good
You
to
look
see you
great.
too. Thank you. Thank you. I've got your stuff right here. So
Aw,
happy to have it. We are Facebook friends, but we haven't had much chatting before. So it's nice to meet you.
it's nice to meet you too. Where are you based out of? Aren't you in the Bay Area?
I am
Or
in Berkeley, California.
nice. I went to Berkeley. I
You
don't know.
did?
Yeah, I went to UC
Uh,
Berkeley right there off. I went to for freshman year I was Unit 3 dorms, and then I moved
Okay.
to Telegraph and Hayes, right down from
Nice.
Andronico's. It used
Yes.
to be, but I don't know if it's still there. It's been a while, but yeah,
It in fact is still, well, at least Andronico still exists. Yeah, I'm a Berkeley baby.
yeah.
I'm actually from Berkeley.
No
So
way. Did you go to Berkeley
yeah.
High?
I didn't. I went to Head Royce, which is a private school in Oakland,
Okay.
but very, very close to the. I mean, the Berkeley's not so big, so you know.
Hmm. The
But anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So where are you? You're in. Are you in Vegas?
No, I'm in Palo Alto right now,
Oh, okay,
just visiting
close.
my family.
Yeah,
Haven't been back in a little bit, and definitely wanted to see them. And yeah, no, I live in Henderson, Nevada right now.
nice, nice. I
Yeah.
have family up that way, or that used to be. So, and then let's get to know your story a little bit. You were a actor, model, athlete, right?
Hmm. Right. Yeah. I went to I went to UC Berkeley on a baseball scholarship out of high school. I was a top 100 player, had a lot of scholarship offers, and decided on Berkeley because I was closer to home. Stanford didn't recruit me for some reason, so if Stanford didn't, I may as well go to their rival, right, and see what I could
Right.
do to yeah, to play in front of my family, which is right across the street from Stanford. And I transferred to a junior college um, and then I transferred to Sacramento State, and then I
Okay.
transferred to St. Mary's College. So I had a little bit of
All over.
all over the place, but it was fun though. I did that out of choice in a weird way. At the time. It was obviously very well, a little concerning to my parents, but it was because I was I bounced around a little bit, but it was just it, I had a tough time with my head coaches. I felt like I should have been playing, and there were a little bit of politics involved, as there is in life in every industry. But
Totally.
yeah, I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and I'm grateful for that. But yeah, I mean, after St. Mary's, I was going to continue to play baseball, but I moved down to Los Angeles, and I started acting just completely on a whim. My roommate, who I was living with at the time, was an actor. His name's Billy Snow, and he was auditioning for an independent feature film called Great American Dream, where it was a baseball related film, and he hadn't played since Little League, and I was fresh out of baseball. And so
Yeah.
I moved down to Santa Monica, and got a small retail job, part-time job, and it was just kind of crashing on his couch. But I was helping him run lines for that audition, and it's kind of one of those things when you don't really care so much, and you just you don't overthink it. And I was nailing his lines, and I was fresh out of ball, so I was kind of teaching him the nuances and the technical, like just the little sayings of ball players and
Right.
just the way
You knew the
yeah.
world.
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, it was really cool. Billy pointed out that I was kind of, I was a little bit of, I don't know, a natural, obviously with baseball, but with the lines though, I was picking up the lines, like when you just look down at your sides and you're able to kind of like have a little bit of a photographical, memory and just kind of
Yeah.
just remember what you're supposed to respond with when you're running lines with Billy or with him at the time. And he's like, "Man, you ever thought about doing this?" And I was like, "Well, I've never taken any classes, but I don't know. I mean, sure, why not?" And so this never happens without representation, without an agent or manager. But he had a kind of a closer relationship with the director, so he took a picture of me, explained my baseball background. Actually, they brought me in for that role, which is kind of weird because Billy was auditioning for it too, and I got a call back. So did he. Got another call back. By that time, he was out of the running for the
Mm-hmm.
role, and I ended up screen testing and ended up booking that role, and ended up filming 6 weeks on a
Wow.
baseball related film, and I fell back in love with baseball again, and I started working out with Beverly Hills High School, but at the same time auditioning because I got representation after acting on that film, and just kind of started that, and then I had started working a little bit, getting auditions, getting callbacks and things like that. And then I booked a small recurring on Days of Our Lives. And so that in practicing baseball and falling back in love with it, and then going back in an effort to go back and play professionally,
Yeah. Yeah.
I booked a small recurring on Days of Our Lives. And so
Nice.
that Friday before I booked it on a Friday, and then that whole weekend, I was just kind of going over in my head thinking about what I should do, like just maybe continue, going towards the dream of playing baseball, or just give it up and pursue an industry that was exciting to me but completely new. And I ended up choosing to stay and pursue the entertainment dream. And that year was really good. But man, it was a little bit of a grind there for a little bit because of there was the economic depression in 2000. I think it was like 2008, 2007, 2008, 2009. There were a lot less auditions and things like that, but I still was able to work. And then I got into a big accident in 2011 that completely stopped all of that, where I was hit by a westbound heading vehicle crossing the street as a pedestrian.
So you were a pedestrian and you got like just clobbered. Yeah.
I was just crossing the street, looking down at my phone. It's a terrible habit. I definitely don't do it anymore. But got hit by a westbound heading vehicle, lost consciousness, hit into the eastbound lane, and then run over by a Tundra. Both cars pulled over, clothes cut off me in the middle of the street, rushed off to Cedars-Sinai, where I woke up in an ICU bed with my chin protruding through the bottom of my mouth.
Oof.
I had a very bad compound fracture just on this side of my face from, just to the left of the middle of my chin, just beneath my left ear right here. Just a very bad maxillo fracture to the point where the resident maxillofacial surgeon couldn't do the surgery. So we had to find a specialist which he assisted on. I think we ended up getting it on that Monday or Tuesday, a few days later. But yeah, it was really I was unrecognizable. I mean, my teeth were nubs, my jaw was wired shut. And I just, it was interesting though, because at that point, my parents were driving down, my sisters came down, my little brother. So we all were together just in my little 680 square foot studio in North Hollywood. But it was kind of beautiful. It just, there was so much love. We very rarely are all in the same area, and so I needed that. And man, when they left, I just went to work on just doing everything I could just to get back. I didn't like what I saw, not only in the mirror, didn't like how I felt. I was in such a fog and overall daze from the antibiotics, painkillers, CT scan, x-rays, all of that. And it was just, I wanted to cleanse my system. I lost my zest and vibrancy, you know what I mean? And I just, once I left, it was a little lonely for a little bit, but then I just started putting things together in my head. I had a pre-existing clay mask that I never told anybody about, that I would do every Sunday night, kind of like back when I had roommates, I would sneak into the
Hide in
bathroom.
the bathroom.
Yeah, and then mix it up, run to my room, then run to the shower, rinse it off, and then kind of do my best to hide it. But so I knew I had that in my back pocket for my recovery, just to help increase a lot of blood flow to the surface of the skin.
Hmm.
I felt like that was going to help mitigate the swelling, as I had a lot of abrasions and I had a big, thick like scar right
Scar.
here.
Uh-huh.
Um, that I just wanted to, man, I don't know if you've ever had a point where it's just really tough to look at, and even the people around you, like your loved ones, are like, they're not
Mm-hmm.
really. It was difficult, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah, geez, I wouldn't change a thing. So
Yeah.
I mean,
And how, so you were like, your skin was not what you wanted, you're healing, you've got inflammation, your whole system, you're used to being a really healthy guy, and now you're really struggling to stay like to kind of figure out who you are now, right?
right. I mean, well, at the same time, though, I wasn't. I don't know if it was going through something traumatic like that. Like my body's response to that was like excited. I had so much energy. I don't know people don't
Mm,
survive accidents like that, and I had an interesting, like, excited perspective. And I had, I'm a grateful being, and I was before the accident, and that didn't. It just turned. It accelerated like my zest for just, I mean, every second of life. You know what I
it
mean?
was a
And being
gift,
able,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And being able to just do things like smiling, chewing, having your jaw wired shut and your teeth all get, it
Uh-huh.
was,
Uh-huh.
and the liquid diet, but it's just, it's that adversity, when you go through things like that and how you respond to it,
Yeah.
it just, it, I mean, I'm glad it happened. It really did just, kind of, it seasoned me as an individual, and also just heightened my perspective and brought me so much
Yeah.
purpose that has given me so much joy in life from what ended up happening from that.
Yeah.
But that
And
was
so
a tough, yeah,
that's how this brand was born, right? Coming
absolutely.
in the aftermath.
That's truly how it happened. But it was just, I mean, that wasn't even a thought. I just
Sure, of
wanted to
course.
recover.
I've had an accident. Let's develop a company. Yeah,
No,
let's
yeah,
no. Yeah.
not at
Yeah.
all. I mean,
Yeah.
I had that clay mask in my back pocket, and so I knew I was, gonna hit the affected areas with that. And then I started to become, because I didn't really want to leave the house. I went to whole new grocery stores. It was just difficult to talk, obviously. And then, you're around friends. I was very, self conscious about just just being out and about. I would put myself out there, and I would still continue to live life, but it was, it wasn't easy. And so
Yeah.
I would take the steps to, just to every hour of every day, it turned into something, because I started to see results, not only from the different Chinese herbalists that I meet with, Ron Teagarden from Dragon Herbs, George from Jing Herbs, Crosby Taylor, Sage Dammers, Truth Calkins. I mean, I would I would go to Air One with my jaw wired shut and just kind of
Mm,
like pick their brain and try to get just their advice on how to purify my system and how to build my
mm,
blood and circulate that blood and mitigate the inflammation inside, uh, and then also maybe kind of get some tips skincare wise. But I didn't find too many resources from that angle, but I did internally. That's where a
yeah.
lot of the ingredients in our supplement Revitalize came from. That was basically my morning tonic that I
Mm,
would put through a little straw in the back of my mouth, just to help build the system back and get my nutrition in. It was a crazy. It doesn't have the bison liver or deer placenta or egg yolks
you
or anything
skipped
like that.
those?
I skipped those. I kept the reishi shaga, gynostemma, ashwagandha, spirulina, schizandra, hoshiwu, and leucine, which is a nice amino acid, which helps with the circulation, which is actually my flowing agent as well in that. And so, but I just, so every day had a step and a purpose in that recovery. But over time, in that morning tonic, I started to experiment with certain things like colostrum, vitamin C topically, and pearl powder topically, American
Mm,
ginseng topically. I tried so many different things. A lot of things different work, but the 9 ingredients that did set into that formula were the ones that did. I would isolate certain areas behind the ear and try to see how the skin sensitivity responded to that, what types of area, and the particle sizing of the clays and the different ingredients that they had to be perfect, and they had to
yeah.
meld and blend perfectly together. But I just for me, like I didn't ever think this was gonna be a product wise. I just wanted to sit and
You
get
are that
into
person.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And so it just it started to feel good because that blood, the swelling was going down and the abrasions were healed and completely gone within a few weeks, but obviously not
Mm,
the scarring, but the abrasions,
right.
like the thick ones. I mean, Christina Rodriguez, I'll never forget, I picked her up from the Burbank airport, and she had seen me right after I'd gotten out of the hospital and I was, really banged up, but she did like a full on double take, and that I needed that, at that time. And I felt like I was slowly getting back to who I was, and so I stayed consistent with that. And she wanted to know what I did, and I was like, I finally, I let it out. I was like, well, I have this clay mask that I was kind of developing and explaining, to her what was in that, and I had a lot more kelp powder in it at the
Hmm.
time. It definitely had, twice, 2 or 3 times as much kelp powder, so it was a little earthy, but that's what it was though. It was just going over to her house, and then her friend, she had a couple friends over, and just over time it just started to create. I was driving all around Los Angeles just with a little backpack, bamboo bowl, a plastic shaker, the clay mask, and like lavender essential oil.
You're like the LA Avon man.
I mean, that I was just driving all around town before work. All I'd want was just like a picture and feedback. And like, what
Yeah,
did they think?
yeah.
Did they
Uh,
like it? Did they see what I see and felt almost every day? And a lot of them did. But also, there were complaints about how I was a little irritating. So that helped me kind of fine tune certain ingredients like the ascorbic
mhm,
acid,
mhm.
the kelp powder with the aroma.
It's
And
not it's not subtle. It's present. Like
it
it's a thing.
It is. No, it for sure is. And I understand that. I just, and there are ways to mitigate some of that aroma a little bit, with lemongrass, maybe clary sage, or lavender's great, pink grapefruit, ylang
I
ylang.
think if you know what it is, you're like, oh, that's it smells like what it is. Like it's not offensive. It's just
Mhm.
like I have kelp on my face.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, and it's loaded in vitamin A, C, K,
Yeah.
B12, sodium alginate. I mean, it's incredible for you. So, and that's very good. Collagen boosting properties as well. The whole, that just the symphony of ingredients in that clay mask just really rejuvenated my skin from, I mean, just from an aspect of cleansing it and just bringing that circulation and blood flow, clearing out some of that, helping clear out some of that scar tissue, and then healing a lot of the wounds. And I followed that up with, I mean, I started off with beeswax, and then I added cacao powder and a little olive oil, sea buckthorn oil. I started experimenting with colostrum, and I made this paste. It was a chunky paste that I melted down in this little cast iron pan. I still have it, by the way, the original one. I mean, that's how powerful Manuka honey is. And I mean, I just really strongly believe in bee products in general. But I mean, there's something about how molecularly complex hive products, bee pollen, propolis, royal jelly, honey, beeswax, obviously. It's just, they're finding out so much more about how, antimicrobial, antibacterial, very healing to that area, especially if you get it cold pressed and live.
Mm.
It's just, I mean, it's bees are just, I mean, they're amazing little beings. So I, I definitely knew I had something, and I saw the results, but just I never had an intention to start a company. And then I would just post the pictures on Facebook and kind of like show people, hey, I'm doing my thing, my little mask, healing myself. But I would document it, and then other people, it kind of just became this little social media, documenting it through social media back in the 2011, 12, 13 days, that there was no algorithm. So everybody saw the posts, and
Yeah.
everybody, all the eyes were seeing, when you do a Facebook live, you get thousands of views rather than just, 100 or whatever. And so
Right.
that's how I launched it, Kim. It's, I mean, well, not launched it, but like, that's how I got
It
started.
got rolling. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the podcast with Dave Asprey from Bulletproof, really, I mean, without him, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be here. You know
Sure.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just, yeah, that's really, he and I came to terms, and on an agreement. And then he brought, I came up with a name. Obviously, I had to call up a friend of mine, get a website dialed in, get the formula approved, get it mass produced. I had a deadline to hit to get the 5,000 clay mass into his warehouse in South Dakota. And then we launched June 26, 2014. And we haven't
Nice.
stopped, so
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah. I mean, I think it's an amazing product. So
thank
a
you.
little about me. So I'm 45 and I
Okay.
have really sensitive skin.
Hmm.
Like really sensitive skin. Like my whole life, everything upsets my skin.
Hmm.
And so it's always been a struggle. And then about in my early 40s, I developed rosacea. And
Oh, wow.
so, not like horrible rosacea, but just like, what are these little bumps on my skin and what is that about? And so that was even more like my skin front went from like sensitive to like ridiculously sensitive at that point. And I saw your products and I got some to just try out because I love products. I just, throw a lot away.
Hmm.
And one of the things that was amazing to me is because I also have dry skin, not oily skin. And so they're super moisturizing. Like the gold serum and the moisturizer, like my skin feels so well moisturized without it causing like any breaking out. And that was amazing. And then the mask, I had to figure out how to use the mask because if I leave it on too long, it's a little too much for my skin. But if
Hmm.
I leave it on the right amount of time, it is a night and day difference between not using it and using it. Like that's kind of the magic sauce. Like the moisturizer is just like a great moisturizer that it doesn't cause me any problems and I get just the right amount of moisture. But I really do think the clay mask, I think you'd probably agree. Um, the clay mask kind of, it's like, what happened? Like I'll have a few little, I don't know, I'm friggin' 45. I still get the little like, little clogged whatever. And I'm like, these don't ever, you never grow out of these apparently. Anyway, but I use these and I use the mask and like the next day I wake up and I'm like, oh, they're all gone.
It's
They're
a
just
fixer. Yeah.
gone.
It's a corrector. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I've called it so many different things. I mean, it's, we've heard, that, it's helped with bug bites. I even had a friend of mine, John Baker, who it removed a mole that he's had
A
since.
mole?
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
I'll show, try not to spill this everywhere. This is the
yeah, there it
powder.
is. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean, it started off just doing my research. I started with Aztec healing clay. I think I was 21 years old when I first did
Mm.
that. I don't know if I bought it. I still ask my mom. I don't know if my sister bought it
Did
or
you,
if I bought it.
someone, you steal it from somebody or yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
downstairs in the cupboard. It was just one ingredient, calcium
Yeah.
bentonite clay, right? And
Yeah.
so I stayed with that for a long time, years. And then I was like, all right, well, bentonite, I could probably buy that bulk for cheaper. And so I went and just sourced about, I don't know, 4 or 5 different bentonites from just around different sources. And on the same, I found one that was, I mean, I did a little bit better, I thought, than the Aztec. And they had a lot of other clays, Iolite, kaolin, Rasul, I mean, red clays from all around the world. And I would just, I really, I mean, I love just the capabilities that clays have in removing impurities, but also the mineral density and how rich it is in pyrophyllite is like 77% silica, which is a building block in collagen
Okay.
when combined with vitamin C. So like that right there, I knew I had to experiment with, as well as kaolin clay. I mean, the particle sizes and the blood flow that Rasul creates, and then the detoxifying capabilities of bentonite and French green clay. I mean, it's just it. And
Yeah.
the thing is,
Oh, go ahead. I was going to say I should tell people that. So one of the reasons I said there's a time that's just right for my skin is you put this on and then you rinse it off and you. This is not going to sound like a selling point, but don't worry. Stay with me, people. You look like you have a sunburn. Like your skin is super pink, like
Mhm,
or mine is anyway. And
yeah,
then so I do it before I go to bed because
mhm,
then when I wake up in the morning, that's completely gone and I don't actually have a sunburn. And my skin looks amazing. I
mhm.
don't know that I would do it like right before a date or something like that. Probably I would give a little time.
Right. No, it's
Yeah.
all I get a lot of well, brides to be. Just I always tell them when they reach out, they're like, "Do you think I should do it before the wedding?" Or I'm like, "Definitely do it the night before."
the
I
night
always do
before.
it. Yeah, I do a day of because I like to shave. I like, as you can see, I'm a little rosy right now. Definitely did it today, but I mean, I just like the
Yeah.
feeling of just how awake I am, getting those stagnant capillaries. I mean, just right around the eye area, the T zone. I just feel like it's a little bit of theory, but also the stagnant capillaries, you're getting those circulated upwards. I just feel like it can help mitigate some of the under eye circles possibly, and definitely fills in those fine lines and crow's feet around
Mhm,
the eye
mhm.
area as well. Even if it's just the appearance, I think staying
Right,
consistent with that over time, and then with the light exfoliating effect, and then staying consistent with things like a night cream or a gold or any type of
right.
moisture clean moisturizing
And this
agent.
is the gold serum. I'm running low, Andy, I will tell you.
We're gonna
So
have to get
hopefully
you
this
some more.
but oh, where's my camera? So the gold serum is literally gold. Ooh, there it is. And this, I'll rub it in. So this, geez Louise. So this is like, it's like a treatment. It's like a light moisturizer almost, right? But it's a
So
treatment.
yeah, it's a concentrated moisturizer. So we have a base. It's like the best of cutting edge anti-aging science, and then with organic bioactive botanicals. You know what I mean? So which is rare. It's usually one or the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's 95%. It's in a base of frankincense, beeswax. I mean, we have sandalwood in there, a blend of botanicals, and then we add active ingredients like plant-derived vitamin A that we source from France. It's like an organic alfalfa extract, which has similar benefits to retinol, which is you know uh, it's very effective for crow's feet and fine lines. However, it's just, I mean, there's a lot of irritation if you go. It's very, sun sensitivity and potential for there's a lot of not a lot, but there can be irritation and downtime to using retinol. And so
Mm-hmm.
I just want to I want to concentrate the source of retinol, which is vitamin A. And so we get
Yeah.
that through alfalfa, and then we combine that with copper peptide, astaxanthin, and CoQ10 and marine collagen in combination with that bioactive base. It created that product, which is definitely our most popular product right now. I think when our scrub comes out, you'll probably like that.
I'm looking forward to the scrub. One of the things like I really love about I'm not an infomercial. I just play one on TV, guys. The gold serum is I stopped having to use a like primer under my
Yes,
foundation.
that's what I love to hear.
So
Okay.
so like I still wear some foundation to kind of even things out, but I use this right before I put on my foundation, and it gives me that kind of glow.
Yes.
And makes my skin sort of prepped
Mhm.
so that everything is a little more uh even.
Man, I need to hear. I love
Yeah.
that. I've heard that. I just don't really know how I can just repeat that we
Yeah.
have heard. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it really like, and even it just gives kind of a nice boost. It isn't makeup itself, but if I'm just like running errands, I don't wear makeup. I'm from Berkeley. We don't wear makeup all the time. But if I put
Yeah.
some of this on, I feel a little more polished than just my normal skin.
That's exactly what I wanted from that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a little glow, a little almost a tint, but
Yeah.
that wasn't the
Yeah.
intention.
Right.
CoQ10 is like this bright orange, and then the glow from the different essential oils, jojoba and olive. It got that color, but it was just kind of by chance. I didn't do that intentionally, but
Got
it
it.
does add that
A
little
little
tint.
brightening, right?
Yeah, it
Right?
does. Yeah.
And then I also use, I mean, I'm a little nuts. I also got your
Mm.
body lotion because the dry skin does not end at my face. And in the winter, I don't know if anybody watching gets this. My shins hurt. Like the skin is like so dry
Mhm.
that and on my knuckles will bleed. Like my
Yeah.
skin is like, we've given up. I don't know. We have no moisture left. And the body lotion totally it's like applying like pure oil, but that isn't oily. Like
Mhm.
it just kind of my skin just soaks it in.
Oh man, that was a statement. I remember releasing that because we have Brazilian acai butter in there, a little andiroba oil. ylang-ylang, sandalwood, lemongrass. I mean, when I would bring that to conferences, I would kind of like dabble a little bit and taste it. Like, how many
Mhm.
moisturizers and lotions do you know that you
Can
can
you
eat? But
eat?
it became a little messy, so I stopped doing that. But it definitely, yeah. I mean, I want to just make products as clean as I can and as close to nature as possible. I mean, that's our mission. Alitura is Latin for feeding and nourishing. I mean, what you put on top of your skin is going to be absorbed within
Right.
seconds into your bloodstream. I mean, you have to be careful. I mean, there's a study that on average women leave the house with over 200 government recognized carcinogens a day. I mean, considering hairsprays, lipstick, makeup, the different yeah, fragrance is one of the biggest culprits as far as
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
toxic addition. You can make the most, I mean, beautiful smelling products and in scents and aromas through essential oils and botanicals. I really
Right.
believe
You
that.
have this is the Santal Black, right?
Yeah,
So this is one of your scented products,
yeah.
and it reminds me a little bit of the Gramercy Hotel in New York City. I don't
Okay.
know if you know that one. They have a candle that they burn, and they made a scent specifically for this hotel. Crazy story, but like
Really.
and it's a smoky, musky smell that
Mhm.
they licensed to be created for their hotel. And so I think that's the right hotel. And it has it's not the same, but it has a sort of this like unisex, but not we like it would smell good on anybody kind
I
of smell.
know, right? It's
Yeah.
just smoky, sweet, sexy. That's it's two different kinds of sandalwood in there, vanilla,
Okay.
babasu, a little black pepper. I originally made that as a beard oil, but it was so much
Huh.
more than that. So I
Right.
canned that and just made it. Santal is Latin for sandalwood, and it's strong. I
Okay.
mean, I'm very. I love sandalwood. Love this, like
Yeah.
just
Yeah. And I would
smooth.
say like I can see that this is if you're a woman who likes really like powdery smells, it's probably not your smell, but I'm not that woman. Like I often steal men's cologne. It, it doesn't smell manly. It okay, weird, I'm gonna say. But like there's something nice about wearing a smell that almost makes you think there's an attractive man behind you all day long.
I get that. I get
Like
you.
you're kind of like I feel sort of the mood arising here. I don't know why. There's sort of a pheromonal thing.
I love hearing that. There in Cap Beauty in New York, there a customer came in and said some awesome incredible, was glowing about the product, and so a friend of mine got that on she repeated it and got it on tape. I'll send it to you. It is absolutely
Okay,
hilarious. I'm not gonna.
so funny.
It's hilarious. Yeah, she said something very similar. I'll leave
Yeah,
it at that.
I think I love sandalwood. It just it evokes memory for a lot of us. I think
Yeah,
of like just a real yeah. So yeah, so
I
I
agree.
mean I think I have all of your products. Just to be perfectly blunt.
That's
But
awesome.
I'm always wanting more. So I hear you're coming up with a scrub. Is that the next one?
Absolutely, yeah. So the meteorite scrub, the formula is done. I'm just getting the sugarcane tube and box dialed in right now. Packaging is very important to me. Just the aesthetics, I want the whole, unveiling of the product to the
Yeah.
customer. We want to step up the customer experience and just really, because we want it to be, be positioned as a luxury
Okay.
brand, luxury product. At the same time, I don't want to have too much unnecessary waste. Want to be
Yeah.
conscious to the environment, and also have a nice unveiling of the product. So we're working on that for 2022 with sunscreen, hair and body wash, two
Okay.
different
Okay.
deodorants,
Oh,
a lip,
nice.
yeah, a peptide, uh,
Okay.
manuka honey, red raspberry seed, maybe SPF lip, like plumper lip. Uh, yeah, I'm still working on that. Um, in what direction I'm going to go with that, as well as a skin activating treatment that's going to be, um, it's not going to be anything harsh like a salicylic acid,
Okay.
but it's going to be like a once a week kind of like skin tonic with, I mean, there's so many amazing natural
You've got
ingredients
so
that
many.
I'm,
I mean, I love the other thing that you touched on is that most of the people that follow me, most of the people watching this are people that are maybe healing from something, right? I specifically focus on keto or low carb eating, but it is a lot of people with autoimmune issues, people with PCOS, people who are struggling with infertility, people with diabetes, like all these things where it's not just about the food. It's also exactly what you said, that especially if you have autoimmune issues, like your skin is an eating organ, right? It is absorbing what you're putting on it and what you're smelling, and to clean up your diet and not ever consider all of the rest of the things that end up in your body is perhaps a problem.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, what you put on top of your skin, I mean, at a hormonal level, your endocrine system, you just really need to pay attention to the ingredients in your products that you rub into, and obviously the products you consume as well, rub into your
Yeah.
skin, your hair, anything that close to your brain, the shampoos. I mean, they're just becoming so man, I mean, toxic. It's just disappointing. I mean, a lot of that, the fragrance, the foaming agents, the preservatives, the fillers, they don't serve the skin, the hair, the body,
Yeah.
and definitely over time, I feel like it can, decrease longevity and can have long-term effects negatively on your health. And so, I mean, incredibly important to pay
Right.
attention to
Right.
personal care products as well as household products.
Yeah.
Shower, get a shower filter if you can afford it. Maybe get a whole home filter. It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, one,
There are like tutorials online if anyone in your family is handy to like make a shower filter out of like charcoal, and like there are ways you can do
yeah,
it without it breaking the bank.
yeah, no, absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just just paying attention to everything that you put into and
Hmm.
onto your body. From, I mean,
Hmm.
everything from, yeah, the water we drink, foods we eat, personal care products, and household products as well. Your mattress, I mean, the laundry detergent you're using, the clothes that you're wearing, your skin is so porous. You're going to be absorbing. I remember when a friend of mine, I left my sweatshirt at a friend's house and she washed it, and uh, I think I don't know, Tide or Gain, and I
Yeah.
couldn't get that out. I think
Oh
I
wow.
want to say, and that's scary when you really think about it. I mean, I'm talking 10 washes or something like that. Couldn't get it out. So what do you think that's doing to your skin? I just, that example really, it was scary. I mean, I
Mm.
just don't want, yeah, I want to cleanse the system and stay on top of things like infrared saunas and, getting good sunlight, just holistically taking care of your body as a whole.
Yeah.
It's so important. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do people have questions that are watching? We will happily answer them. Feel free. People are just being very polite. So
Yeah.
if you want to write in questions about like anything, the products, what's in them, how I use them, how he suggests to use them, or like literally random questions, whatever. Just write things down and we'll try to answer them.
That's awesome. I'm just seeing these on the right. Okay.
Amy says, "What's in the mask?"
What's in the mask? Hi, Amy. Okay, so we have I like clay, green desert clay, kaolin, rasul. So it's a base of 4 clays, evenly distributed throughout. We have ground freshwater pearl powder. First 4-hour milking grass-fed colostrum, which is loaded in IGF-1 growth factors, extremely healing, rich in enzymes. L-ascorbic acid, organic kelp powder, and American ginseng. That's it. No preservatives. Pretty
That's
much
it.
edible. Pretty much edible,
Mhm.
unless I mean,
I didn't know
kaolin
that it
clay.
would be tasty, but it would be
No, I
edible.
mean, Hey, I'm not kidding. I've added water to that just when I was down. I mean, it's a lot of those things I do supplement with internally. Pearl powder, colostrum, vitamin C, obviously, kelp powder, which is basically spirulina, a little, and then bentonite and iolite, French green clay, and American ginseng. Yeah, I mean, everything in there
And you
pretty
you
much.
mix it, people, it's powder, so you mix it with water. So just so you
You
know.
can mix
Or
it with,
whatever.
yeah, you can mix it with water. Pellegrino, Gerolsteiner, apple cider vinegar is the main one, I would say.
You
Aloe
like
vera
apple
juice,
cider vinegar?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
It has there's something in like the mother enzyme eh, um in the raw apple cider vinegar that blends and just enhances electromagnetic capabilities in the bentonite
Mm,
specifically. And but it is a little, yeah,
earth.
yeah, it is a little earthy and adds a toning aspect to it, but you can counteract the earthiness with a little lemongrass, sweet orange oil, blood orange is great, pink grapefruit, ylang ylang. I mean, you can really create a good aromatherapy aspect to it as well. But I'm telling you, you just let it dry, do it at night for the first time. And if you know, a
It'll
derma,
dry, and then you'll feel like you have the desert on your face, and then I kind of end up scrubbing it off. So I get the exfoliating
yeah.
because it wants to stick. So I use a little washcloth. I
Mhm.
rinse and scrub, and then it is like I have new skin.
Yeah, it's a very popular back bar treatment in hundreds of med spas all around the world.
Huh,
And so
huh.
it's basically it's a facial that you can do out of the comfort of your own home. I really want to say, I
Yeah.
mean, that's yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
all
and
I
I mean
do. I
the
love.
products aren't cheap, but I have to say that since I've started using them, I have felt zero need for a facial.
Oh, that's
So that you'll save your money there. Oh, and people were
appreciate
asking,
that.
where do you get these? Alitura.com is your website, right?
Yeah, Alitura.com. And then do we give you a
I do
coupon
have a
code or an
coupon code.
affiliate?
Yep. It's
Yeah.
Ketonis20. And so after the live is done, I'll put it in the notes. But it's Ketonis20 will get you 20% off, which is a
Mhm.
pretty awesome discount. And CJ wanted to know, what's the harmful foaming agent in shampoos?
Sodium lauryl sulfate is
Mm,
yeah, it's I think it's in the dirty dozen. It's just it doesn't serve the skin or hair. It's a foaming agent basically.
mhm,
So
mm.
sodium lauryl sulfate,
Sodium
CJ.
lauryl sulfate. Okay. Um, where can you got that? Do you have any internal products? Julie's asking. I'm guessing like sort of vitamin type products.
Absolutely, yeah. Our supplement Alitur Revitalize. That is, yeah, the product's very special to me. It's basically my morning tonic encapsulated.
Okay.
It's a blend of medicinal mushrooms, organic chaga, organic reishi, organic spirulina, schizandra, hoshu wu, ashwagandha, gynostemma, and I think I already said spirulina. I'm not sure. Yeah, and then
I think you did.
leucine. It's
And
just
leucine. Interesting.
yeah.
Leucine. And you said leucine's the carrier, and because as amino acid, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a flowing agent. A lot of
Okay.
supplements, I don't know why they do
Yeah.
it. I mean, they add microcrystalline rice
Right.
powder, stearate, magnesium stearate. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we have it's just, I want, things I know are in
You're
all of my
right.
products. It's just, I don't understand why. Well, I do actually. I get it. A lot of
Yeah.
people want to cut cost.
Right.
I want
Right.
like the best. I just,
Yeah.
is this good for
How
mature? Yeah.
is it
Oh,
good? Yeah. Oh, go ahead. You go.
how long do you leave it on? I like to leave it on until it completely dries. Now, Kim and some other people, they'd like to get it just before because you're going to get that drawing from the
Uh-huh.
clays, but also you're going to get, and depending on if you want to have a lighter, but I love, if you want to have like a little bit less constriction, but I love
Mhm.
that tightening. I love that the feeling of like your face cracking open. And it's not overly drying.
Yeah.
I want to. It's not overly drying like a lot of clay masks. It's the pearl powder and the way and for some reason the ability of the pearl powder and the colostrum, it holds moisture a little bit better, so it's softer on the skin and not
Right.
as drying. But I like to. I mean, I'll leave it on in front of the red light. Just next thing you know, it's been an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours in front of banging out
Yeah.
emails and stuff. But then, yeah, it's just you get that full capillary
Right.
constriction when you let it dry, and then especially the game changer for me. I don't know if you've used the derma roller. If
I
you
have.
you have,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
it's a device. It has these little titanium microneedles that just open up the epidermis to allow it for the ingredients to sink in a little bit further past the initial layer of the skin. Just, I mean, you get the most out of your products and the ingredients in them through doing that. What I do sometimes is I'll apply the gold serum after doing a pass through with the derma roller, and
Okay.
then do another roll so it
Okay.
sinks into the layer, and then roll it in again,
Okay.
and then apply the clay mask. It's just, I mean, I'll do that maybe once a week or something, because
Okay.
you have to make sure that you clean the derma roller so you're not like rolling in the oil over
Right. You got it. Yeah, you got to
over
clean
time.
those
But
things.
that right there, that's a full on spot treatment. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Let's see here. Sounds like
I take so she when I was saying I let it dry, but I just let it dry. So
mhm.
one like if I notice, oh, I'm feeling that dry feeling, I'm like, okay, I'm done. Because a
Okay.
couple
Yeah.
of times I left it on a lot longer than that. I was like, oh, I'll just leave it on. And like if I leave it on an hour or something, it's mostly that the it's just a lot of blood flow to my face.
Yeah.
And I'm very red for that evening, and in a way that I literally almost feel like I have a sunburn, like my skin is hot. And so I don't find that as comfortable a feeling. So if I take it off right when I feel like it dried, then
Mhm.
I'm good.
Yeah.
But
And
there's
the
no harm. It's literally just not my favorite feeling.
Yeah, no, I told, and we get some alarmed customer emails every now and then, and we just respond, give it some time. If
Yeah.
it's especially if it's the first time using something as powerful as the clay mask,
Yeah.
it's important to do it the night before and just let your skin recover
Right.
and
Right. By
hope.
morning, I was like, okay, I'm okay. I'm fine.
Yeah, and you know what?
Yeah.
For so long, I didn't really know which one I preferred doing it the night before because in the
Yeah.
morning it really is you just feel so fresh, you know. But then
Yeah.
I like to do it in the morning just because of shaving and it lifts up the little
I've done it a few
follicles.
times where I've had like a thing, like a
Yeah.
little congestion, and I've put it on just in an area the day of,
Mhm.
but I just take it off a little sooner so I don't get as much of the blood flow going on, and that
Mhm.
works great. Like as a spot treatment, I've
Absolutely.
done that too.
Yeah.
But Earlene, I would say, I mean, I'm no spring chicken, honestly, either. So I see nothing about this that wouldn't work for mature skin.
Oh no, I yeah, we have people. Yeah, we have customers up into their 90s using it. My mother, I will not. She's definitely not. She's not 90, but she has mature skin, and she's slightly older than 69, and she loves it. And yeah, it's gentle. It is, especially if you use it with water and you don't use something like the derma roller. You're going to get
Mhm.
really good results, and it just maintains and lifts. You know, from a gravity aspect, you know, you're getting all that blood flow, pulling out the impurities. You're just going to get a brighter looking complexion, and a more vibrant, yeah, appearance,
Yeah.
and just also
Yeah.
clearing out that congestion, which to me is something I'd like to feel awake. There's something that it
Yeah.
just does at a cellular level too, aside from skin. I can't explain, but I'm looking to find that part out of it, just from like a an emotional, spiritual aspect of it too. There's a little, uh, um, you know, because I hang upside down at an inversion table, I get all that blood
He's
flow to
from the
the.
Bay Area, people. I mean, you can't help it.
I know yeah, I'm definitely a hippie, small town. I'm actually from Humboldt County up
Oh,
north.
well, okay, then you're definitely a hippie.
Yo, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just, yeah, I just prefer things to be, you know, I'm a big fan of just going the natural route ever since I can remember. I just, if I didn't know what things were in
Yeah.
college, it's just, and it's increased year after year, and just finding out more and more that can help from a health and wellness
Yeah.
standpoint.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
And it's a cycle, right? Like you start like you don't know my story, but like years 5 plus years ago, I weighed 100 pounds more. I was really sedentary, really unhealthy. It's like one thing leads to another thing,
Yeah,
leads to another thing. You start caring, like you care about one thing, you want to lose weight, then you're like, well, actually, I want to be healthier. And actually, I should probably go to the gym because I want to be stronger. And it's like these things just start to stack onto each other because one health improvement leads to another, and that at this point includes that I want to be healthy all the way to my skin.
absolutely. Yeah, and they all go
Yeah.
hand in hand, and it's
Yeah.
all just in an effort to feel your best. And you feel your best, you're going to create that ripple effect, personally and
Yeah.
professionally. Every situation that you come across. You know, when I leave the house, I want to make sure that I'm my best self. You know, and that's
Yeah.
all encompassing, from health, wellness, food, relationships, just, you know, taking care of yourself to at the highest level
Right.
that you can.
Right.
Um,
Amy asked, how long does it take to see results?
how long do you generally see results? Okay, so as far as, I mean, you're gonna, if you, yeah, if you I mean, you're going to see results immediately from the clay mask.
Yeah.
As far as how long those the I mean, that'll, I mean, 24, 48 hours as far as like that tightening it. Maybe you can, I mean, I
Yeah,
know.
I would say for me, like, I know sometimes I'll be like, I'm looking a little less than I want to. And I'll be like, oh, I haven't done a mask in like a week and a half. And so for me, I try to do it twice a week. I use the cleanser and the moisturizer and stuff pretty much every day. Um, and they're great and they really help and they like maintain well. But if I don't interject the mask in at least once a week, I start to see a return of some of the rosacea, a little bit of like like just my form of rosacea is like little congestion around my nose, little
Mhm,
redness around my nose, sometimes little teeny breakouts on my cheeks. And
mhm.
if I'm doing my twice a weekish mask, then that pretty much is not happening. But if I notice that, because I'm horrible at routine, if I've noticed that I'm like, oh, I have some of that happening, I'll do the mask. By the next day, it's pretty much gone. And so it's not like, oh no, I've ruined my, and now it's going to be another month before I'm back on track.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I mean, I know I'm talking about my product, but I mean, it's just one of those things where, I mean, you stay consistent with it 1 to 3 times a week. I mean, you're gonna build, you stay, stay consistent with that over time. And I really feel like my skin is better and has
Yeah.
less wrinkles and lines than when I mean, I'm 40 years old. I mean, when I was 22, 23, out in the sun, beating down, wearing
Yeah.
sunscreen, I used a night cream in college, by the way, when I was playing. My teammates gave me such a hard time. I've been
Of
into
course.
skincare for a while. Yeah, but like it was, I forget, it was some name brand eye cream at the time, but it was counterproductive into mitigating those fine lines. So I think, I mean, it's just you stay consistent with this routine and not introducing really, harsh chemicals that get baked
Yeah.
into your skin, or toxins
Yeah.
that don't serve your skin. Just stay, on top of your healing, your cleansing, and getting that circulation going. I mean, I feel like you're gonna maintain results
Yeah.
from that. And so, yeah,
Yeah, and I wanted to say, you guys, I asked Andy to come on tonight. Like, I'm not getting a kickback. I mean, I might get a free bottle of moisturizer out of it, but I'm not getting
of
like it's
course.
not like a business deal here. I just wanted you guys to know about this product
Well,
because it has really changed my relationship with my skin in a way where I was always a little frustrated before, and now I'm like, oh, like I can take care of it. I know what my skin wants and needs. Alfie said, "Is it like losing weight? People notice the body change. Will the face mask had same?" People tell me my skin looks really good
oh
a
yeah,
lot. So
absolutely. Alfie,
yeah,
that's like, I it's the best thing in the world too. It's just, I mean, we hear that a lot. We
yeah,
do hear that a lot.
yeah, yeah. And Amy asked, "Do I think that it will help with small capillaries?" So I have little capillaries around my nose that you can see if you look very closely. I don't know that it's taking them away, but I think it does help with the appearance a little bit.
Appearance.
I think maybe because of the blood flow or the way the skin gets plumped up or moisturized. I also notice that I see more capillaries when I'm dry, when I'm not taking care of my skin. So I think I can't make any claims at all, but
Mhm.
I notice the capillaries less if I'm on my skincare.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that would, yeah, getting those getting that blood flow, it'll definitely reduce, I feel like it'll reduce the appearance. It'd be
Mhm.
interesting to find out what that actually does to, I mean, there's so many microcapillaries and the microcirculation to the surface and what that does. It'd be interesting to find out and do, that'd be a good before and
Good,
after.
good, good,
Amy, if
good
you want to reach out,
test.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would love to
Yeah.
check, yeah, see if that worked. Let's see.
Alfie said it sounds like a good Christmas present. Do you know if people buy in the next few days, could they get it by Christmas?
Today is the 15th, correct?
14th?
14th, 14th.
15th
Oh,
tomorrow.
yeah. In the United States, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that should be fine. That should be
Yeah.
fine. It's, our
Okay.
fulfillment center's a little backed up, but it should be fine. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Just in case people wanted to, because they have one kit that I've gotten. It's your travel kit, and it's like a small amount of a bunch of your products.
Mhm.
Because you so it's like plain safe, everything's like 2 ounces. You'll be sad if that's what you get for yourself and then you'll run out. But if there's somebody in your life that you want to introduce some good skincare to, that might be a really good present.
Well, yeah, no, I formulate the products. It takes a little bit longer that way. I
Yeah.
have a few different chemists, 6 different manufacturers all around the world because you can't be good at everything. That we have a powder manufacturer, we have an oil like specialist who makes Santal Black. I have a manufacturer out in Hawaii who does our lotion, our cold serum, our body lotion, moisturizer, and night cream. And then we have a chemist, Susan Raffi in LA, who makes our pearl cleanser. And so, yeah, I just like to work with the best at specifics, or
Yeah.
supplement as well. West Coast Laboratory, Ron Ovadia, a good friend of mine, helped me put that together. So, yeah, this is it's
This is
definitely
the body cream. You can see it's like, so I always, where's the camera? So you can see I still have like a little bit of lotion on me, but it's not greasy, and this will absorb in about 2 minutes completely. And I was joking, the only product that smells weird is the mask. The ones that you wear on your skin all day actually smell very nice.
Thank you.
The mask just smells like kelp. So if you've ever been to the ocean, it smells like kelp. But it doesn't linger, and it's not bad. It's just smells like kelp.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little less earthy with water. I just yeah, I mean, and I wanted the customer to be able to customize
Yeah,
it
yeah,
to
yeah,
their
yeah.
aroma that they
A lot of
wanted.
people have essential oils. If you want to scent that stuff up, feel free.
Yeah, now I'm working on making possibly an activator too,
Oh
like an
yeah.
activating oil blend, just to get
Uh-huh.
a few
Uh-huh.
drops in there to. Um, let's see here, Julie. Aw, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Oh,
Yeah, it's nice to have you. Okay, well, any last questions before we wrap up? Andy, anything you specifically want to let us know about?
no, I just no. I mean, I love doing this. I could do this all day. I mean,
Yeah.
I just love where I'm at. I love having something that helps others feel better about themselves and being able to have that control as business owners and formulators. We have that ability to make our products
Yeah.
as clean as we want to make them, and
Yeah.
that's 100% my why. I mean, I love the industry that I'm in. Never thought I'd be in this, but man, I'm just riding the
It's,
wave, and I love it. It's so much fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
good.
appreciate you
Well,
having me on, and
I'm happy to
everybody.
have you.
Yeah, very cool. All right,
All right.
well,
Well, thanks
yeah.
so much for joining us. I'll put the links to everything in the notes, both here on YouTube and Facebook. And use the discount code, people. You'll get 20% off, and make an order. And by the way, their customer service has been great. So if you have any problems with your order, they've been very helpful. When I had I accidentally ordered twice. When you put it in your cart and you put a lot in your cart, and then anyway, and
Yep.
they fixed it all. So they're very helpful.
I like hearing that. That's good.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah, yeah.
forward that to them. But yeah, thanks a
All
lot. I
right,
appreciate you
all right.
supporting, and
No
thank you everybody
problem.
else out there.
All right, bye guys. Well, I'm going to stay on for a minute or two and ask a few questions. Um, Basal cell health. Do you think that's a question for you, Andy? Basal cell.
Yes, I actually just had a customer last night who has had 3 Mohs surgeries, MOHS, and
Mm,
has successfully combated all of her issues with our products. I mean, we've had a lot. Let's see here, Sue. If you want to, Sue, if you'd like to email me, Andy@alitura.com, I can put you in touch with some of the customers and see just kind of what they did
yeah.
uh, with that. But we've had a lot of success with that, and people
Okay.
that have just helped. Yeah,
Okay.
with that.
Cool. All right.
All right,
Thanks, Andy.
all right.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
See you.
See ya. All right. I had a few other questions here, so I thought I'd answer them before I sign off for the evening. So that was super fun. Thanks for joining us. I'm happy to have Andy here on the call. Um, a little Southern brother said, tips on how to break what we've been taught about fats being bad for you. I have high blood pressure, and eating bacon and sausage concerns me somewhat. So, I guess the first thought I would have is you don't have to dive in the deep end with bacon and sausage. You can kind of dip your toe in the water, just increase your general meat intake. high blood pressure is caused by a variety of things. The primary cause, I believe, is having high insulin levels. So anything you can do to lower your insulin levels is going to be awesome. I actually had a doctor's appointment this morning before I went to the gym. And now I'm trying to remember. I think my blood pressure was 105 over 70, just from, staying on top of my insulin resistance and staying in a healthy range. So, but if the, bacon and sausage freaks you out, you can start by just having a little bit, or you can just start with like red meat. You don't have to eat in a way that stresses you out, but in terms of breaking up that thought pattern, some reading, some research, and some experience are all going to help you start to have, because I understand it, we can have that knee jerk reaction because of what we've been taught, and that stresses out. And being stressed out will raise your blood pressure. So try and adjust your way of thinking so that you feel comfortable with the way that you're eating. All right, guys, have a great night, and I will see you next week.